What is going on? Welcome. Project Start. Session numero dos. Super excited. Trying to change it up a little bit. Maybe start with a little bit of music, get things going, get you guys in the vibe. Want to welcome you here. To everyone watching the replay. There'll be more people watching the replay for this and a couple other episodes. So I want to make sure that you understand. I appreciate you being here, even though I know you couldn't make it to the live session. Having you here, and you all who are watching this replay a year, 6 months, a month down the road, wish you could have been here for the live session. But I just wanted to give you a personal welcome and let you know I appreciate you being here, and I'm so excited. Today is exciting as well. And I'm doing my best. Anyone who has ever been in any of these programs with me before, you know that I like to talk a lot. I love to give value. And there's some times where I try to find that balance of over giving a little bit of value and over delivering and not talking too much, at the same time giving you something that you can act on today. And this session is, I could drag it on for about 3 hours, and it would be all 3 hours of great stuff. But I don't want to do that. We're going to try to get this really quick, but it is going to take some time. You all who are watching the replay, what I want you to do is you go over this. When you have problems, push pause. This is all about limiting beliefs. If you guys can remember, in the last session, we talked about limiting beliefs. And you were supposed to make a list. And if you haven't, that's fine. Push pause on this. Make that list. If you didn't add anything to it, feel free, go back through it now and add some things to the list, and you'll be able to do that, because we're going to be talking about that today. Your limiting beliefs. Now, up until this point, we've talked about a lot of different things. Hold on, I didn't do my thing before I start. Okay, that's what I do every time before I start something. I didn't do it off camera though. When it comes to our beliefs and things that we do, it kind of runs our whole life. But so far in this program, we've talked about knowing why you're starting. So we know why you're going to start this thing. Now you can put it in anything: start a relationship, start a business, start a friendship, start traveling. So whatever that start is, it's very much the same. People are going to start because they believe, well, I'm going to start because I don't want to start a relationship because of fear. There's a fear there. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but there's a fear, so I'm not going to do it. And it's the same for starting a YouTube channel, for starting a podcast, for sharing a blog, whatever it is. The fear, it's the same. There's a fear. But more important than the fear almost is a limiting belief. Because the limiting belief, first of all, limits you. And then with that little limit that you see, there's fear around. So with these limiting beliefs, we're gonna move this out the way. Get these out the way so you have a much clearer vision and you can see so much more. So like I said, we've talked about why you're starting. That's the most important. And now, why haven't you started? You were supposed to answer this question in the last session. And if you haven't, just push pause and do it now. And now you're back. Now, the reason why you haven't, I'll tell you, is limiting beliefs. There's a belief up there that whatever it is that makes you think, no, I couldn't do that. If I were to tell you, hey, you can make $1 million in a week. Now, to think like that's crazy. No, there's no way. That's a limiting belief. Now, we all have them. Everyone has a limiting belief, because every belief has a limit. But the thing is, the limits block you. And if I believe that all people are bad, if I say that, then what happens with these beliefs is our brain automatically finds everything to back up this belief that we have. And this is where the problem comes in. You know what I mean? Like, the problem comes in because now if you believe all people are bad, then now it's just like, you're going to see bad everywhere. But the second you change that belief, and if you link enough pain to it, well, what does that belief cost you? It's a good question for you guys to write down. I should have told you to do it last week. It's not required, but if you really want to, if something doesn't click, I want you to go back through this limiting belief and say, what has it cost you? What has these beliefs cost you? Actually, matter of fact, that might be a good thing to add on right now, coming up with it on the fly. I want you to go through the top 3 beliefs that you have right now, look through your list, and I want you to look at the top 3, and I want you to write next to it, what has that belief cost you? For example, if you had a belief that was money is the root of all evil, money is evil. Okay, what has that belief cost you? Believing that. Because every belief costs you, no matter what it is. You can believe all people are good, it's going to cost you something. You can believe all people are bad, it's going to cost you something. There's always a cost. You want to make sure that cost isn't something that hinders your why. So go through your list right now and just do your top 3. And if you're watching a replay of this, feel free to go through all of them, push pause, and write your the things that has cost you this belief, having this limiting belief. What has it cost you? Go ahead and write that down as I'm having my, it started in this program, Project Alpha, and it's kind of carried on throughout here. Having my water from wine glass. Write what it's cost you. What does that belief cost you? And this is just a bonus because we want to link pain to it. Linking pain will make you change. Pain makes you change. Pain makes you change. Remember that. You were at one time you believed love, you believed in all that kind of stuff, but then something changes. Pain changes. Write it down. Okay, should be enough time. And you guys watching the replay, you can just push pause and you got more time. Now what I want you to do is I want you to look at your list and you're going to ask yourself a question from each of these limiting beliefs. So what it's cost you, that's not needed in this section, what we're going to do now, but that will be very beneficial. That's a bonus. But now I just want you to look at your list of the limited things that you have, the limiting beliefs. You're going to ask yourself a question. Is this true? So we use all people are evil and we just believe it. But now I want you to look at that money or all people are evil and ask yourself, is this true? If you had money is evil, I want you to look at that limiting belief and ask, is this true? Now, as you're looking at this list, you should realize that, well, you might have said, no, you're right, that's kind of not true. But no, it is true. It's true because you believe it. I know it's kind of like a little trick, but there's a, you're gonna get it in a second. It is true because you believe it. Now, the real question I want you to ask is it the truth? Is it the truth? If it was in a court of law, would that be the truth? I'm not good on video. Could that hold up in a court of law? If we had a court here, is it the truth? Look at it. Go through your whole list of beliefs. Is that the truth? And you realize instantly, it 100% of the time, 99% of the time, it's not the truth. Because truth is a matter of perspective. So once you have another perspective, you're like, oh, actually, that's not true. It's true. All right. And you see, it's been a lie. That's one of the saddest things about this is you realize like, oh my gosh, this limiting belief that I have right here, it's been a lie, but it's been operating in my subconscious. And only I think 5% of what we do is in our conscious mind. Everything else is in our subconscious, which is a habit. So we're changing these beliefs right now, all of them. So go through there, ask it, is this true? Let me give you guys about 30 seconds to do that. Is it the truth? And I don't want you to write in what is the truth. Don't write in what is the truth right now. You're just looking through there. You can do it in your head if you don't have a pen and paper, but I want you to do this. This is something really important. If I wasn't trying to be quick tonight, I'd give you guys about 5 minutes to do it, but you guys have about 15 more seconds. Is it the truth? Give you about 10 more seconds. Is it the truth? About to get a little water. You got 15 seconds. 15. Is it the truth? Spill my water over here. Is it the truth? Okay. So now what we're going to do is something very important, because as you ask yourself, is this the truth? and you're realizing, wait, no, none of these limiting beliefs that I've written down, they're not the truth. Okay, cool, not the truth. Good, we're done with the session. See you guys. No, because something that's so important, and remember this for the rest of your life, when you cut out something, you must replace it with something else. You must replace it with something else. All the time. If you're cutting out sugar, you need to replace it with something. What are you going to put in its place? Or else you're going to go off and do something else. You know, about probably, I think this might have been probably 2 months ago, I was at one of my favorite cafes, and I love going to this cafe. And I knew everyone there for the most part, but one day, this girl was like, kind of cut me off when I was leaving. And I was like, oh, excuse me. And I talked to my friend. And then when I go to leave, she was sitting right at the exit, right where my scooter's parked. And I'm about to walk out. And I was like, hey, I haven't seen you before. Hi, just saying hello. And they said, here's your tea, ma'am. And they brought her her tea. And I was like, wow, you don't drink coffee. Everyone here at this place, the name of the place is the bakery, but everyone drinks coffee. I was like, you're not having any coffee. She's like, oh, no, I don't have coffee anymore. I was like, really? And at this point in time, I was trying to stop having coffee. So I was like, that's interesting. I want to see, what did she do to change that? What was her mindset so she could shift from having coffee to not having it? And she's like, oh no, I stopped 2 weeks ago. And I was like, what did you do to shift? She's like, oh, I just stopped. I was like, wow. I'm like, that's pretty powerful, you know, like that's great. I was like, has it been hard? She's like, no, I just decided to stop. And I was like, wow, good for you. And I walked past her, I put my helmet on, and I was like, I hope I can be like you, just shift to coffee and have a better life. And she was just like, oh, well, I did start smoking. Ding. I was like, oh, that moment changed me so much to make my perspective like, oh my goodness. And that's when I came up with it. Like, you have to replace it with something, because your needs need to be met. The things that we have, our beliefs, what we think, they need to be filled. And if you take one out, it's just like a garden. Like if you have weeds in your garden and you uplift all the roots, and then you just leave, what's going to happen in 6 weeks? Of course. So we have to put something in its place. Not just weed be gone or spray something so the weeds don't come back, because something has to grow. It's nature, has to grow. Just how it works. So we're gonna have to replace these beliefs, but we're gonna replace it with something very special. And it's probably a book I need to read again, actually. It's one of my top books, and the book is called Useful Belief. So we're gonna replace these beliefs. We're gonna replace each of these that you have on the list. We're gonna replace these with useful beliefs. Now, what's a useful belief? A belief, it literally is that. It's something that is useful for you to believe in that moment. Maybe I have this belief right now that, you know, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I could really teach these people how to start, and I'm giving myself 5 sessions to do it. I don't know if I can do that. You know, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it's more, maybe I need less time. These are all limiting beliefs. So none of that is true. We know that. Boom, you're gonna get to a point where you just know it. That's not true. Okay. What's a useful belief I can put in that place? What's a useful belief I can put in place so that I can go about creating this program and making this the best and most efficient way possible? But here's a catch. This is Project Start. You are trying to start something. More important, you have a why for what you're starting and what it is that you want to start. So we're going to make a useful belief that's tailor-made to your reason why. Your reason for starting, we're making a tailor-made useful belief for this. Not to me, because I have my own. My reason is to empower people. So useful belief for me is like, if I just get on and I talk from my heart, then I know that will help someone. I know that I'll be a blessing to someone. That's my useful belief. It's a useful belief to believe in. It's better than that entire other list that I just told you. I mean, to be honest, we'll talk about it in the next session, but I'm nervous making the program. I'm nervous jumping on live. I'm nervous when I did an interview today on a podcast interview. I was nervous doing that. And you realize, like, well, what's a useful belief to have? Well, for me, it's like, well, a useful belief for me is like, well, before the limiting belief was like, if I'm nervous, that means I'm not qualified to do this. If I'm nervous, that means I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm nervous, that means I'm going to mess up. If I'm nervous, that means I'm going to fail. If I'm nervous, you can go on the list. Is that true? No. Is that true? No. Is that true? No. Is that true? Is it the truth? No. Is it the truth? So what's a useful belief? And I have one. Boom. You're nervous when you care. You're nervous when you care. Huh. Okay, that's useful. Because now every time I'm nervous, that means that I care. And when I care, I'm going to do better. Boom, we just changed the belief. Now, anytime I'm nervous, those other beliefs aren't even there because they're not even true anymore. And I pulled that from my subconscious mind and I know that consciously. So now it's just like, well, that's not true. So I'm nervous when I care, nervous when I care. Okay, so if I'm not nervous, that's a problem now. Now, when I jump on a program, if I'm not nervous, oh no, it's not good. I need to be nervous a little bit and control that. So now I want you to just look at one of your beliefs. You're gonna do this on your own. And I'm gonna blow my nose off on the side. My allergies going a little crazy. You're gonna go through your list right now. You're just gonna do maybe one or two of them. If you're watching the replay, you can pause it and do all of them. But you're gonna just do your top one or two. Like I say, if you're watching the replay and you don't wanna lose the state that you're in listening, do one or two. Then at the end of the session, go back through all of them. And you're gonna replace it with a useful belief. Useful, something useful to your purpose. What's something you could believe that's useful to your purpose? Maybe one sentence, keep it one sentence, very simple. Or a rule, look at it like that you can be certain about. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to do it. 30 seconds. I'm blowing my nose off in the side. Allergies going crazy. 30 seconds to write down a useful belief. Go. It takes some time as well to think about it because it's hard because you've been thinking a certain way the whole time. You're pulling this out of your subconscious mind right now. And we're planting a new seed. We're taking this garden of all these limits you put on yourself, the vision you have for your life, these limits, and now you're replacing it. You're gonna replace it. What flower are you replacing it with? Because just putting a weed spray to keep the bad things from coming up doesn't help. You gotta have something there. What is the useful belief that you've put down? And keep going through this list. You can refine it as well. So once you have this entire list, we've just broken down the beliefs, and you'll have a more empowering belief, a useful belief, but feel free to go to that. See, is there any limitations in this useful belief that goes against my why? Is there a limitation here that goes against your why? Because you want it to flow. Like, I'm nervous, so I'm not gonna do it. Wait, if I have a belief I'm nervous when I care, does that go with my why? Well, I do want to care because I care about people, and that way I empower them and I show up and do even better. That goes really well. I like the way that goes. So that's what you want to have. You want to have it so it complements your why. Not complements anything else, but the reason why you're doing something. You want it to complement that. Should have it written down. And I want you to go through this process. I want you to read through everything you've just written down because you got to get it in your system. So one thing I want you to do is just like maybe stand up a little bit. I'll do it with you guys. My camera's really low. Let's see if we can stand up. We got to involve our physiology a little bit. Just stand up, maybe move a little bit, just a little bit. Shake your body out. It's something we do in a lot of Tony Robbins programs because sitting down, we got to get in our body. You can sit down and you can listen to what I'm saying. That's one thing. But when you get up, breathe, move a little bit, angle your camera so you can see, shake your body out a little bit, just a tad bit. And think about what this limiting belief is that you had before. And I want you, now you have your useful belief now. You have the belief that works for you. This is beautiful. But now what we need to do is we need to make sure we get this new belief in us. So I want you to say this new belief that you have. So my belief is I'm nervous, and when I'm nervous, I feel like I can't do something. I have trouble breathing. I'm hunched over. But now we want to make sure that we feel energized, that this useful belief that we have now, like for me, I'm nervous when I care, and I care. I want you just to say it a couple of times. Move your body though a little bit. Don't just stay sitting down. I know you want to sit down, but move your body just a little bit. I'm nervous when I care. And say your useful belief for one of them. Look at your list. Look at your list. Do 1, 2, or 3. Just go down the list. Your useful belief now that you've replaced this limiting belief with. What is that? I'm nervous when I care. I just want you to say it a few times while you're moving. Trust me. It feels crazy, but trust me. Like, just get it wired into your body. Your body will remember. Okay? Yeah. Don't worry. It's like 10 o'clock at night here, and let's go. Finish this 4. We got this, guys. Okay. I'm nervous when I care. I'm nervous when I care. You guys say yours. Nervous when you care. Whatever your belief is that you put down, your useful belief, say it. If you're watching the replay, push pause. Push pause. Move around a little bit even more. Go through your list, moving. Even if it's just moving, whatever it is, you're gonna feel the difference as you're standing up. Whatever that useful belief is, whatever it is. I wish I had a DJ with some music and we could really get this wired into our system. But the reason why we're doing this is because the nerves in our brain, the neurons, is what carries the messages to our brain, what fire together, wire together. So if you're sitting in that slouch state, saying this powerful thing, it's not wiring the same. When you're up, you're moving, you're standing straight. Now it's starting to wire, getting it wired together. What is the useful belief that you have? Now, if you're watching the replay, I know a few of you guys are. Keep going for about 30 more seconds. Keep moving. Keep moving. Say your useful belief now. Say it. Say it. Say it one more time. Your useful belief. What is it? Go down your list of useful beliefs now. Go down that list. Keep saying useful belief. Get it in your system. And do this as much as you need to do, okay? And if you push pause and you're back, everyone sit down, relax. Now that should feel different now. You've replaced the belief with a useful belief. But since you've just moved it into your conscious brain, you have to do it a lot. You're gonna have to tell yourself this a lot until it becomes a habit that you don't even think about it. When I'm nervous, I know I care. I've said it so many times myself. I've wired it into my system. When I get those butterfly feelings, that means I'm nervous. And now that links to what nervous means, that I care. Very simple. It's wired. But only consciously you have to do it. You have to do it consciously in the beginning until it becomes a habit. It takes a while because you've been doing it the wrong way for so long. Like someone who wants to lose weight, like you spent 20 years being overweight. You can't expect to lose it all in 2 months. Okay? That's a limiting belief, though. It's possible. And now with this, you realize that none of these beliefs are stopping you. None of these beliefs should be stopping you right now. If there's still something there probably will be, because a lot of our beliefs have been wired in our system for a long time. Go and repeat this process. I literally want today to be 10 minutes long. So you could watch this video again with the same list and do the same exact thing. What you just saw, do it again. The more you do it, the more wired it in. It's the muscle, okay? It's a muscle. You don't get muscles like this now. It's a muscle. You want to get the muscle, what do? You don't curl one. I curl one time, good. No, you constantly work that muscle. You work that belief. This is the belief. It's not happening. No, you constantly work that muscle. Saying it to yourself, moving. You're working this muscle, working it. And this is when you get the results. You got to work it. These beliefs, it's what's holding you back. You need to link it to pain. It must be linked to pain. You have what it's already cost you. You have the limiting belief, and now you have a new useful belief. Now that stuff that's cost you, it's not going to cost you anymore because you've changed the belief. And like I say, if any of these bother you, if you still feel something's not right about it, change the useful belief to something more useful. Go back to this list a week from now. After next session, you all will be starting something. You'll be starting this thing that you've wanted to start for a long time. And you might have things come up. I want you to look back onto this list. This is the things that's holding you back. You can literally see it. Feel free to add another limiting belief. Feel free to change your useful belief. And more importantly, make sure when you're putting your useful belief in that you move your body. Move your body. If you slouch, you sit and just like, okay, it doesn't click. Move, get the blood flowing, everything goes. And repeat this process as much as you need. So now we know why. We know why you want to start what it is that you want to start. Calm down, calm down. I know you guys are excited. I know you know, now we know the why you want to start. And today, after this session right here, what we've just done is we know what's been stopping us the whole time. And now you should have an actionable belief that will allow you to move forward now. We know the why, we've moved what's stopping us. So now we're ready for the next session. And the next session is going to be where to start. Where to start. And it's going to be a powerful session. I'm excited for it. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I don't want to ruin it. Don't want to ruin it. I won't say anything. Where to start is next. And it's something super huge, but next session will be as powerful as you've made it by moving these limiting beliefs. So go through these limiting beliefs, get them out the way so there's none. None of the main ones are there. They've been changed. And now we're going to apply that and teach you where to start without these limiting beliefs. That's why we're doing it in this order. I could have told you how to start in the last session, and I mean this session, and then made the beliefs, but no, we've moved the beliefs. So now you're going to believe it's possible because you have these useful beliefs. And I'll see you guys in the next session, and we'll teach you guys actually how to start. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. See you in the next session in one day. See you guys.